Hey, good morning, everybody. It is Mike with smartoptiontrade.com. It is Sunday. Happy Sunday, the 15th of December. This is my week ahead video. I do these for members every week. I'm not doing charts this week, so I'm going to put them out there for free. If you want to join us for the here in the room, I'll put a link in the description below. So we have a little over 2 weeks left trading in the year, but we're going into the quiet time of year. This week's a busy week. Then we're into the Christmas week, and the week after is New Year's week. So, you get a little bit tough. We're looking for the Santa Claus rally. That does not start until Christmas week. So the question is, are we just going to continue to rally here? Or we're going to get a pullback, and we're going to talk about what's going on here and what I'm watching for this week. On the economic perspective, we'll stop there because this is going to be the last big economic week of the year. We have PMI flash composite on Monday. We have retail sales on Tuesday morning. By the way, this is courtesy of Trader Exchange. These guys are great if you don't use them. On Wednesday, besides a lot of other things, the big one is the Fed decision at 2 and the press conference at 2:30. Members, I'll talk more about this in detail on Wednesday morning, but the market is expecting a 0.25 rate hike. Surprise would be none. GDP on Wednesday morning at 8, I'm sorry, Thursday morning, 8:30. Then we have PCE, the Fed favorite on Friday AM, and then Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectations. We also still have a little bit of earnings left this year, not much. This comes from my friends over at Earnings Helps, by the way. They do a great job. Just check them out. Um, so what's going on here is, not much left. This is pretty much the last week of earnings till next year. We have Micron on Wednesday night. That's a big one after the Western Digital guide down yesterday on Thursday. And then on Thursday after the close, Nike and FedEx. So we're at the end. So let's go into what's going on here and let's start off with we'll start off with the ES here real quickly and just we'll work our way through this. ES showing, sideways action, maybe a slow drift down. NQ has been stronger, put a new all-time high in on Friday. Crude remains mostly out of play, though it's strengthened back up again. Bonds are not acting well. Bonds are not acting like the Fed's going to cut. Bonds are acting like they're concerned. And maybe the messaging might be the problem there. But bonds had that nice little bump giving it back. That's sending rates back up. Gold had a nice couple day bounce, but gave it back. And then Bitcoin. Bitcoin is currently strong. It's above 100,000, and we're going to talk more about that in a minute. The VIX here is signaling nothing going on as it stays very low. HYG, not good. HYG is leading down, right? So when this is leading down, the markets tend to follow. When it's leading up, the markets tend to follow. It's been sideways for the last couple of weeks, but the last couple of days it's been breaking down ahead of the markets. Um, transport, transports remain weak, not what we want to see. That's another drag. And then the dollar. Dollar starting to strengthen up. So a couple of things going on here, but they're not the end of the world. Let's talk sentiment here. From a sentiment perspective, we have some changes going on here. We'll start off with highs versus lows on the um, sorry about that. Dog has need me to take a look at something. All right. From a sentiment perspective here, the Nasdaq here plus 129 versus negative 227. So what's happened here is we've inverted. We used to have we're now 129 stocks making new highs, 227 make new lows. We've inverted on the Nasdaq. When you look at the S&P 500 plus 26 versus 57, we've inverted. Okay, breath's been going down. We've known this. To put the call, still slightly neutral, not showing much. Advanced decline lines all rolling down. Look at the small caps specifically in the NASDAQ rolling over. And negative 157 here on the oscillator on the New York Stock Exchange and on the NASDAQ negative 151. We are on slightly oversold, but nowhere near the good signals. So what's going on here is we've seen the market slowly starting to roll over underneath and breadth has been dropping. And we've known this. We've known this for a while. When we look at the S&P 500, it's going sideways while breadth has been coming down on fairly low volume on the S&P 500. So for this week, do we come down? Do we visit the 600 area? If you hold 600, it's a very strong market. There's your 21 days sitting there. That's where we broke out from. If we cannot hold there, you could find yourself back to that 590, 80 area, which would be a 3% pullback here in this market. To the upside, take out 609.07 and we put in a new all-time high. Right. So again, one of the things going on in this market here has been the strength of the Nasdaq, and this has been on the backs of very few names. We'll see if this holds. So for the week ahead, we'll keep an eye on it to see how they trade. So first of all, let's start off with Tesla. Tesla's been on an absolute wild tear ever since that gap up over here on earnings. It's been just incredibly strong. It has doubled in about a couple months, less than 3 months. This thing has doubled in price. Closed on the highs on Friday, new all-time highs. Okay, does this keep going or not? Could it use a break? Yep. Does it look like it wants to give one? No, it doesn't, not yet. So we'll keep an eye on that one to go back above 440.30, that area there, and see if it can break up to the high side. Then you have your Apple. Apple, another strong week, holding in very tight, holding the 8 day. As long as that holds the 8 day, it stays primed for a move up higher. Amazon still put a new all-time high in, holding sideways, sitting here right on the 8 day. Needs to hold that. Okay, these are levels to watch, guys. Microsoft also a little bit of a topping candle, shooting star here. All right, all-time high is 468.35. Does it want to go get it? The 8 day area down here, 443, resting after a very large move. Google. Google, huge candle, giving 50% of it back now. Does it want to reconnect with the 8 day, or does it want to just sit here and go? Again, we'll see what this does. If it comes down, you'd like it to try to hold around this 186 area. Meta put a new all-time high in this week back on the 8 day. Big spot. Can it hold here or not? The problem is these are the names that have really been holding up the market, and that's what's going on. Everything else right now is out of play. The financials underneath the 21 day pretty much all week, showing some weakness. Does it want to retest this gap at 48.70? JP Morgan already kind of working its way back towards that gap. Same thing with Goldman Sachs. What else out there, guys? The energy. Energy, despite oil pushing up, remains overall weak and coming in. Uh, Pharma still weak, not, after that big bounce, after that big thing coming in all the way back here. Boeing's looking interesting if it gets above this 170.43 in the 200 day. Might be a trade if you had on there. And then we have MSTR. MSTR is joining the NASDAQ. That was announced at 8 o'clock. The kick, by the way, was MSTU. MSTU and announced a 10-for-1 split on the close on Friday. That was a dead giveaway that they knew MSTR was going in. So let's see what kind of move. I'll be managing. I have a call on the MSTR for next week's 500 calls. We'll see if this thing wants to blow up here and go all the way back up. There'll be a lot of buying into this. We'll see what kind of action we get on here. Big all eyes on this one. This will be my focus on Monday. This one in crypto. We'll see how coin reacts. Okay, coin has also been holding in sideways. For you guys trading after hours tonight, like we can on Thinkorswim, IVIT is eligible to trade after hours. Palantir, which is joining the NASDAQ, is also eligible to trade after hours. So we'll keep our eyes on those. Outside of this, guys, I'm going to tell you right now to stay with the names that are in play, stay with big tech until they break. And if they break down, I traditionally believe this is a buying opportunity. We're not going to go very far, and we'll be looking to rally into the end of the year. Remember, Fed this week, surprise can come from there. Wishing you all the happiest of holidays, members. Saturday between Christmas and New Year's, we're going to do our 2025 Outlook webinar around noon Eastern time. Everybody have a great weekend.